Hi everybody, Cher here with you. Welcome to my channel. So as promised, I am going to be adding to my Cher's Christmas baking playlist. I have another recipe that I'm really excited to share with you. So today I'm going to be sharing how to make jam tarts. This is another recipe that was handed down to me from my mom. And they are amazing. They are so yummy and so simple to make. I'm really excited to share this with you. So let's get started. So to start with, you're going to want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees, and you're also going to want to get your tart shells ready. Now, I am doing the easy route. I just like to buy these frozen pre-made tart shells. These work just as good, in my opinion, as like the rolled out kind, but by all means, if you want to take the time and effort to roll out your own pastry, then go right ahead. But I am a little bit lazy that way and I'm not good at that, so I just like to use these frozen ones. So I'm going to go ahead and just put these into my muffin tins, let them kind of thaw out here for a few minutes, and they'll be just ready to go by the time I get the filling all ready. This recipe makes approximately 2 dozen tarts. So yeah, I'm just going to fill both of these up and then I'll be right back. So the first thing you want to do is crack 3 eggs into your mixing bowl, and you're going to want to whisk these really well together. Get them nice and frothy. There we go, we're just about there. And then the next thing we're going to add, there we go. Next thing I'm going to add is 1.5 cups of sugar. And 1.5 cups of fine coconut. This is 1.5 teaspoons of butter. Now mine was really cold in the fridge, so what I did was I just put it in the microwave for just a few seconds, so it's kind of half melted and half softened. So yeah, if you're kind of watch it, you don't really want it necessarily melted, but it doesn't really matter. So I'm just gonna put that right in there. There we go. And then the last thing that goes in this is just 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. I'll put my, here's 1.5. And you just want to mix this all together really well. And once we get this all mixed together, I'll show you what the next step is. So this is really well mixed together now. The next step is to put the jam into your tart shells. Now, before I do that, I want to talk to you a little bit about your jam. Now, you want to use raspberry jam. Don't ask me why, but raspberry jam is the way to go. I have tried other jams before, and trust me, you don't want to improvise. It doesn't really matter what brand you use as long as it's raspberry jam. So just take a little teaspoon, and you're basically going to put about 1 tablespoon of jam into each one of your little tart shells right on the bottom. So yeah, about that much. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fill all of these bottoms up with jam. And then all that's left to do is just to put our coconut mixture right on top. I told you this recipe was super easy. It really is. And these are so good. It makes kind of like a little crust on the top with the coconut, and it gets nice and golden brown on top, and oh my gosh, it is so good. So now I'm just going to spoon some of this coconut egg mixture right on top of the jam here onto the tart shells. And you don't want to overfill them, but you just kind of want to cover the jam, just like that. Cover your jam. Anyways, that's all there is to it. Like, this is such an easy recipe, and this is a really fun one to do with your kids. Like I say, I can remember making these with my mom when I was younger, for sure. And it fills the house up with such awesome smells. And these also freeze really well, which is why I'm making these well in advance, because yeah, I kind of like to do that, so I'm not leaving everything to the last minute, and then I'm not so stressed, and I can actually enjoy this whole baking process, and I'm not in a big rush. So I'll go ahead and cover all these up with this mixture, and then I'll show you what they look like just before I pop them into the oven. So there we go, I've got them all filled up now, and it worked out just perfectly. I had just enough of that mixture to put on the top to cover all 24 of them. Now I'm going to put these into my 350-degree oven, and I'm going to bake these until they get golden brown. You don't want them to get like too brown, but you want them to be golden brown. So I'm going to set the timer for about 10 minutes. You're going to want to watch them fairly closely, and then once I get them out of the oven, I'll let you know kind of roughly exactly how much time they did take to bake. And yeah, so we'll see you in roughly 10 to 15 minutes, and they will be all done. So I just took these out of the oven. They took about 17 minutes. So yeah, I was a little off on my timing, but make sure you watch them closely because everybody's oven, you know, bakes a little bit differently. So this is kind of the color you're looking for. So the pastry around the edges is nice and golden brown, and the tops are just starting to get a little bit brown, and that's perfect. The other way you can kind of tell that they're done is if you just take your finger and lightly tap on the top. They're like hard and crunchy on top. Like that's where the coconut kind of all raises up to the top there. And so then that's another way that you can be sure that they're done. So you're going to want to put these onto a cooling rack and let them cool. And yeah, once I get them a little bit cooled off, I'm going to cut into one of these and show you what they look like on the inside. So the tarts have been cooling here for a few minutes, and I can hardly wait to cut into this and have a taste. Like I was mentioning before, these freeze really, really well. You'll just want to put them in a single layer though, in like a Tupperware container, because it's kind of fragile on the top with this coconut. If you are gonna like put another layer on top, you definitely want to separate the layers with some parchment paper. But like I said, just be really careful if you're stacking them on top of each other, because you just don't want this part to get broken, because that's the best part. So let's go ahead and just take this out of the shell, and they're still warm. Look at this. Oh my gosh, look at this ooey gooiness. Oh yeah, they're still pretty warm. I didn't let them cool down long enough, but oh my gosh, these taste so yummy. So when you're eating these, when they are cooled, of course, when you bite into it, you're going to get this nice crusty top part. You're going to bite into this kind of gooey center middle part here with the jam and this kind of custard in the middle. Oh my gosh, like the flavors just are amazing. Like I said, don't make them with anything else than raspberry jam, because it's just, I don't know what it is, but it's the raspberry jam, I think, that really makes it for sure. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this little recipe share. Make sure you hit that little subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and also maybe that little bell, because you're going to want to be notified for the next time I make some more recipes. Trust me, there's some really good ones coming down the line you don't want to miss. So until next time, happy baking, everybody. Bye for now.